Welcome to Let's Learn Jurassic World Evolution. And let's see what he's up to before we send the dig team out. Let's get a new contract with him.
This opportunity is solid and can really help the entertainment division, so please consider it. That is a textbook example of doing it right.
Let's do that one twice. That was a great idea.
Isla Muerta's entertainment division is excelling because of you, so you're getting a reward on everything.
Toy shop. Beautiful. We wanted one to put right down here. Perfect.
I've looked this gig over. You should too.
How do we measure success? Body count. Well, that sounded wrong. Head count, then? Oh, that's kind of as well. You get my meaning, though.
Okay, he could use a smaller, something about half that size. And we could bring him into the main park.
I've got something for you, if you're interested.
Okay, what we're going to do now, of course, is move this guy.
Acknowledged.
Down here and kind of put him on display. And we can even start thinking about some research that might help out here. Or some fossils, I mean. We really need to find Deinonychus, so what we'll do is go on to Ticanio next and open up some more possibilities for us. So we'll stay here long enough to get this guy moved over, and then we should be good. We still have one mission to do on this island, our entertainment mission. Oh, I forgot. I've got... Okay. Got
Asset requiring collection.
Just gotta replace those guys.
Asset being transported. Heading to collect the asset.
Now once we get the Metriacanthosaurus down here, hope I'm saying that correctly, we have to make sure that that paddock suits him, and then her, and then we'll be good. Okay, so these are great. We can improve the output, reduce the upkeep. The money doesn't really... Money's not a problem here. We want power and
Transportation
less
underway.
outages. Okay.
It's the one thing we can't control and have to accept about these creatures. Some of them have the instinct to kill. Okay, it's time to look at our transportation here too.
Asset has been delivered.
Oh, looking good. He's happy. She's happy.
Asset to be collected. Asset in transit.
Job well done on that contract. Our guests feel safe. Great result.
Just checking. Make sure we could go around the other way if we wanted to come down and loop a different way. But now this monorail is going to help our visibility a lot. So he's going to basically see almost every dinosaur in the park on a trip. Up to 100%. That's pretty good, 100%.
You've done good work in the past. That's why I know you are perfect for this contract.
Forecasts predict impact.
See how we do this storm.
En route to top-up feeder. Setting additional task. En route to repair. Confirming task.
without any horrible damage. Do we have any other repairs we need to do? I don't think so. Uh-oh, I don't like
Resupply
that
request
sound.
acknowledged.
Where is that? All right, looking good.
Take this contract. It's a good one for both of us.
Alright, so we're just making a check on all of our satisfaction, make sure we got it all under control. We're a 5-star facility, over 4 for the island, need more dinosaurs of course, and we're continuing to pursue the Blue, the entertainment guy, so that we can ingratiate ourselves with him and get that final mission for this island. So we'll just continue to keep, try to keep 3 contracts going at all times with Blue, and make the get our favor up with him and get our mission. So we've just about caught up with all of our research that we need to do, that's available to us right now until we add Tacano as an island, which we'll be doing soon enough. But for now, we want to get that last mission done here on Isla Muerta. And if we do, then that means that we've got 2 islands. Both of them are over 4 rating, and we've done all of our missions on those islands. So we just lost Dracorex, so now we're going to, Edmontosaurus. So now we're going to replace that Edmontosaurus. And again, don't watch while I do this. As I explained in a fundamental video, I totally didn't know what I was doing here, but I've since gotten better. Trust me, I will. At some point, you'll actually see me use that thing correctly. Now, the good news is, of course, I am modifying these dinosaurs. It's just that I'm just randomly picking whatever happens to show up as the last characteristic or the last genome modification in each of those categories. So we've got that paddock out there we don't need, but it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere now. Eventually we will be able to use it nicely, or at least, well, maybe not exactly that paddock, but that space we'll be able to use. We've got our nice little Metriacanthosaur paddock down here, and we'd like to have something to put in there with him. Ideally for that size of a pin, Deinonychus would be great. Your 3 small raptors are the ones that are really good for adding in with the large, I'm sorry, I said three small raptors. 3 small carnivores are great for adding in with the large carnivores, because they'll hiss and fuss at each other, but they never actually do anything, because the small one always has enough sense to run off eventually. So what I'm doing now is I really think that I could be using these towers better. So what I'd like to do is really kind of make what I wanted to do is have an area where you have transportation, and you have all your services, and you have your viewing galleries in a very compact space. That to me is the most efficient way to do it, because then you would have short walks for everybody. You could transport people with your monorail right to the area where the action is, and they would have short walks to food, drink, fun, shopping, and the dinosaur viewing. So what I'm playing with here is just a new idea to kind of build almost like a pizza pie, where P-I-Z-Z-A, pizza pie, where each of these towers represents a slice of that pie, and you could just run like in a little semicircle around and have really good coverage for viewing, and shape your paddocks out in almost like a V shape away from that, so that you have excellent viewing. You can make the paddocks quite distant because those towers can see a long way. Take advantage of that, and then you would have excellent visibility and very compact build, where you could, like I said, have all your services and your transportation and your viewing galleries right there together. So that's kind of what I'm playing with here. So I'm trying to think about, well, how could I build another paddock and take advantage of those towers and really use them to a good effect. Because those little basic flat galleries like we have for that Metriacanthosaur and we have for the other paddocks, they're great if you have a contained small space, but they don't have that long distance viewing capability, and you kind of you lose part of your distance. So if you're building a big tank or a small paddock, excuse me, they're great. But even with the two that we have up here for our herbivores and for the
Task received.
Ceratosaurus and the
No problem.
raptors up there, if the dinos go down toward our bottom of our screen as we're looking at it here, we're not going to get the visibility. So I'm working on trying to come up with an idea that would give us the good visibility. So you can see the and by the way, one thing I really wish they had in this game, one improvement from the interface would be, I would love to be able, I don't know if any of you have ever played Banished, but in Banished, as an example, you could click one of these buildings and lock it, and then its catchment area or viewing area or whatever was appropriate for that building would be locked on your screen, and you could see it and use it as a reference. It would be great if I could actually see the visibility of that tower while I'm building this fence, so I don't have to guess if I got it right. And I did a pretty good job there. I got it pretty close. But even at that, if a dinosaur wanders down next to that enclosure, we're not going to see him. So I'm going to try to cut that off and make it a little tighter here. Doesn't always work, though. And I've thought about this some more, and I think the next time I try this, I would actually not necessarily even have the fences go into the actual tower. In other words, the fences can be out away from the tower a little bit, and just have the tower set back, because it doesn't really matter. You don't have to have the fences going into the tower. You could have them back a little. But anyway, I'm setting up a paddock here. This is almost experimental, and then we'll want to put services down in there in that space, maybe even a hotel potentially, and now you've got transportation, housing,
Adding task.
and all your services and all your viewing galleries right there in a tight space. So
Setting
that's one
additional
design.
task.
And later on, just to give you a sneak preview, we're going to do one with a
Acknowledged.
different design that actually came from my son. It's an idea I'm stealing from my son that he did on his build, and it was a great idea, and I'm going to try to hopefully improve on his great idea a little bit, and make it into something that it makes a really nice module for getting good viewing and good satisfaction and good transportation and everything, and nice tight builds. And example of how not to do it, of course, is that paddock to the left as we're looking at the screen, where we have the ankylosaur and the Dilophosaur, because that I just messed that up totally and didn't build it correctly. It's not, the shape of the paddock doesn't match the tower's viewing capabilities, and it's a really crappy design. I really messed that up. Anyway, we're going to keep on going here, And as I said, the main thing we're doing here in this whole episode is just maintaining the park and trying to make Blue happy, trying to make the entertainment guy happy so that we can get our final mission.
Adding to the list.
Heading to collect the asset.
Okay, so there you saw we lost our Ceratosaur. He finally died of old age. She has been great for us. You know, been our star attraction all the way through. And here I go with my. Sorry, it's embarrassing to watch this. Pretend you don't see this. Okay, now you can watch. Okay, so we've got our Ceratosaur with a good rating, and we're going to put a new one out where we've got the corpse being removed.
Transporting asset.
And we've got a resupply request, and we actually forgot to put, yeah, all right. All right, and remember, my thing is I try to say we when we're doing well and I when I mess up. So I messed up and didn't put a gate in that Vetriacanthosaurus paddock. So fix that. Now our Jeep can find his way down there. And it's nice how they do it. It may stop and have the question mark, but once you fix it, it'll just continue on its way. You don't have to restart or give it new commands or anything. So I finally got a little better and figured out that I could click on those, the green, blue, and orange tabs there, or bars, or sections, whatever we want to call them, and flip them around and actually see what we would get next from them. And later on, I'll show you, and if you don't already know, I'm sure you already do, but you can flip it again and actually see the full set of all the things that you could get as rewards from those guys on this particular island. That's terrific. And, you know, as I said, I finally figured that out, and I'll show you that in a future video. You know, I'm catching up here. These are videos I've shot and had, you know, I just can't get them out fast enough. I literally can't produce them and upload them fast enough so that I can keep playing. So I've been on a big pause here. So now we've got some sick dinos and we need to get out there and stop this little epidemic. But if you keep up with your research, you know, on those vaccines, and you have working rangers, you should have no problem with these.
Heading to pick up the
So
asset.
now our plan is to take our Dilophosaur and Chylosaur out of that crappy design paddock over there and put it in this nicely designed paddock where we have good visibility. Not quite perfect, but really good. We're going to see those dinosaurs most of the time, almost all the time. And that's way better than the other one, which was like a 50-50 shot at best. So now I'm trying to see, what can I do? Can I do something that would actually take care of that little tiny bit I missed and also give me another nice paddock? You know, or just another way of thinking about it, how can I expand this concept of having these little slices of pie? So what I'm going to do here is create a little slice and create another viewing area, another paddock, in this particular paddock, and now I've got a little pathing problem because that power station is right there in the way, but we'll just go around it. So now we've got we can build another paddock out here that stretches out, and it'll be for future use. In fact, I'm literally at this point, I really am building for the future. You can see we got $22 million. Money, we've reached that lovely point where money doesn't matter. Well, it always matters, but money is not the problem. On Isla Muerta, we've got a great economy going. We got everything going on, and I'm really actually thinking if I could get out there to the security guy and get that baryonyx available, then I could use that as another large carnivore with a high rating that I could put in that new paddock we're in the process of making.
Asset delivery confirmed.
So now we're going to make sure that our Dilophosaur likes this land, and he does. And this Dilophosaur and these the tank ones, as I call them, Ankylosaur, Crichtonsaur, Nodosaurus, etc. To me, they're a good combination. And if the Dilophosaur likes the paddock, then the other animals will too. He's the most fussy of that group. And that's a good way to think of this, is figure out, if you're going to build a combination, figure out which one is driving, how much grassland you need, how much forest you need. And it could be two different dinosaurs depending on the combination you're using. But figure out who your fussier tenants are, so to speak, and make sure they're happy, and that way you won't have to worry about the rest of the tenants. They will be happy if the fussy one is happy. So you can see we've still got disease spreading, so we're going to get out there and do our vaccinations as fast as we can. So now we're going to start adding services out there to our new little module here, so to speak. So we'll put in some food, some shopping, some fun, and keep that satisfaction up. We'll have great transportation because we've got that monorail station right there nearby that goes all the way, potentially all the way back to the entrance. And by the way, the transportation is primarily from the entrance to the point. It's not between these points, it's from the entrance to whatever it is you're building. So you really want to have a monorail station right there next to the entrance, right where they come off that monorail that brings them into the park. You want to have another monorail station there, so they have a short walk to that, and then you want that one to be able to hook up and take you to the key parts of your park. So in this case, we take them down to the hotels, and then we take them over to that new area that we're building right now. And make sure that you're over top of your dinosaur paddock so that you improve your visibility and makes for a really great ride for your customers or your people attending, because they get to see the dinosaurs as they're going by. And a lot of these, rather than worrying about micromanaging and trying to get this just right, I usually kind of double the price and go ahead, once the park's established, go ahead and put 5 staff on it, because you really don't make that much money on, in the grand scheme of things, the income you make from these services isn't the point. The point is to have the service there to keep everybody happy. That's what you're really trying to do. And of course, you don't want to lose money on them, but you can, once the park is established and getting decent attendance, you can just go ahead and bump those up to staff of full 5, so that you don't have a situation where you lose out on satisfaction because you don't have enough staff to cover the demand. Because if you forgot to do it and you kept growing, and maybe you had a fast food restaurant or a restaurant or a shopping or whatever it was, and you didn't have the your service wasn't big enough, wasn't staffed big enough to handle it, you would be losing out on demand satisfaction. That all it would take is adding staff. You wouldn't have to build another building or anything. So I think it's easier for me. I'm not a big micromanager, as most of you probably know. And so for me, it's much easier to just go ahead and bite the bullet and spend the extra few dollars on the staff right off the bat, and give the best service you can and accommodate as many people as possible. So now we built another paddock out there. It's a good size. You can see by using that, just kind of matching it up to the visibility of that tower, you get these nice sized paddocks that could house some pretty fussy animals. And we'll see what we do with that one later, because that one really is a future build right there. Just thinking ahead to what else we're going to do, like maybe the baryonyx. All right, so here we go. We've finally gotten him happy enough to get our entertainment mission. This is probably a good place to stop this this episode, and we will pick up on the next episode and actually do the entertainment mission.
Body count.
I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it adds to your enjoyment of the game, and I hope you'll join us for our next Jurassic World Evolution video. Thank you.